Hey there, everyone, and welcome to this special video occasion. I know this is a Let's Play channel, but we just had a movie released in, what was it, 1 week ago as of this posting, that is on every, or at least most people's mind, considering certain cameos, certain critical receptions, which was... I never expected this movie to become as controversial as it become in certain aspects. But there are some aspects, especially after with a certain inclusion that I figure that it could be interesting. Trying some water here, trying to discuss what the future can hold. And I didn't feel like I could do this alone, so I was figure I would talk with my good friend Leo from Geekly Goods. How's it going, bro?
Hey, dude, it's going so well, Isaac. It's good to chat with you again, my friend. Yeah, y'all can find me over on Geekly Goods on YouTube. We talk Marvel, DC movies, TV 7 days a week. So come on over, y'all, and let's talk about it. And yeah, there's a lot of controversy about the Super Mario Galaxy movie, which I was like, this is not the movie that I would think would be like, yeah, the critics are duking it out with the audience, but here we are again after the same thing happened with the first Super Mario Brothers movie.
Yeah. But since you're a guest over here, I was thinking, before we go into details of what this is as title, how could Illumination handle Smash Brothers? I just want to know your quick thoughts about the two movies in general, since it's about the topic at hand.
Yeah, honestly, I had a really good time with both movies. I will say the first one's maybe a little funnier. But honestly, I really enjoyed Galaxy as well. I think that the animation style is gorgeous. I don't even know how they only took, we know labor practices are pretty crazy in the realm of animation, but they only took like 3-4 years to get Galaxy out after the first Super Mario Brothers movie. That's like extremely commendable of that team. So great, very well done in the animation department. The animation is stunning. Love the different scenes. Especially I think in this movie, my favorite sequence is a tie between the Mario Maker sequence and then the casino. Really, really just fleshed out characters, tons of characters, and then the Mario Maker hopping between 2D sprites, the NES sprites, and the animation style. It was just very well mixed. This is not the movie I'm coming to for the story. I mean, I already know it's kind of just like the games where it's like, hey, we're in the beginning, we saved the princess. Okay, it's the end. That's all I really expected here, so I was not too disappointed. I will say maybe the most disappointing thing about Galaxy for me is the lack of Rosalina. I think that, especially in the trailers, they really made it seem like she would have a big role, and I think in the movie as a whole, she did not have nearly as much involvement as I thought she would, especially coming from those trailers. I think the first or second trailer, it ends with her destroying that machine, and so I'm like, okay, I thought we would have a little bit more of that in the film. So that's maybe my biggest disappointment. But I mean, the movie has no depth, and that's not a huge issue for me. It's for the kids. So I thought it was a fun time. To me, it kind of feels like an extended level of one of the games. So I had a really good time. I guess if we're rating them out of 10, I was 8.5 for this one. The first one, I was a little closer to a 9, just because I think the way DK was executed was incredible. Also, Star Fox was super freaking cool in this movie. I thought Glenn Powell did a great job with the aura. It wasn't too cocky, but it was cool. But he was still riding with Mario. It wasn't there was this weird rivalry going on. So I thought that was a really great character. All in all, had a really fun time. I think it's perfect for kids, perfect for families. If you're going in though for a deep story, this is not the movie for you. The story is very simple.
Yeah. And we are pretty much on spot on. I know that there's people that are saying, but you should do more, and I'm just. Yeah, but again, this is Super Mario. I don't expect, or if Zelda is on the same depth with the story in that upcoming live-action movie, then we can talk about problems, though. I will admit that, because that's a more story-driven franchise. But that's a story for another day in my book.
Yeah, what did you think? I haven't heard your thoughts.
I really enjoyed both of the movies. Albeit, honestly, this one more than the other. More a big Yoshi fan. So it was fun seeing the mischievous little fella. I loved how they made him so freaking cocky and just and all that jazz. And he enjoyed pulling punches and all that jazz, not just by another scary cat, if you know what I mean. And I do agree with you that it felt a bit odd to see Rosalina so little in a movie called Super Mario Galaxy, but that's besides the point here.
Yeah, however, Yoshi was so good, so good.
Yeah,
like perfectly done.
Although I don't understand why they needed to have a voice actor for this with Donald Glover, and they couldn't just use video game sounds for him.
Right?
Things considered.
Almost sounds the same, but it like Glenn Powell, he called too, so he was like, let me. These people are just pitching themselves. I'm like, hey, if honestly, since they're so passionate about it, I love it. Like the more the merrier. Like if people are like deeply passionate about these characters, those are the people I want portraying the characters, not just some randoms. So I love it.
Like, yeah. But you mentioned the key person, the key character, and why I feel like we wanted to do this with you, and that is Star Fox. That took internet by storm when they introduced him, or should I say, revealed him for that poster. I have no idea why they revealed him in a poster as early as they did. Maybe it was to drum up hype, maybe it was for the sake of, yes, they knew that someone would leak it. I don't know, but it still feels weird in my book. What do you think that's more, more about the industry than I know?
I think part of it was, I don't know why either, just because I feel like maybe part of it was a marketing play of like, hey, there's like, we've got one more thing for you, but that could have very easily been saved for the movie. The only thing I could think of is like you had alluded to was leaks. Maybe there would be some people at the press screenings leaking. I don't know. But otherwise, I guess maybe just to prevent the leaks and marketing. But yeah, I'm with you. I think they could have saved Star Fox, Fox McCloud for the movie, because that felt like the biggest surprise of the movie, in my opinion. Like if I had not known Star Fox would have such a big role in the film, I would have went in like not knowing he was in it at all. I would have been like so shocked. Like I would have been like, oh my God, like Star Fox. So we've got DK, we got Star Fox. Like, okay, it does seem like they're building something here. But I mean, the only thing I can think of is to prevent leaks, which is a huge thing right now. The Avengers Doomsday teasers got leaked. The Spider-Man Brand New Day teaser trailer got leaked before it came out. So I think they're just trying to protect themselves. Yeah, it was like those little character teasers they did, those little 4 ones. People were just like leaking them from the theater. So I suppose that's the only reason they decided to go ahead and show. Otherwise, I can't think of why. This movie doesn't need any more marketing, so it's not like it needed Star Fox to bring people in. That's it. Probably just to prevent leaks.
Yeah. But the question then boils down even more, because a lot of people are wondering, are they going to do a Smash Brothers movie and or not? Because I have to say they implemented him quite well, because doing the I know that Mike from Novice 7 file, who is more often than not here, said something like, let's just have a warp pipe on it, but I guess doesn't that feel a bit cheap? But I think they handled that cameo phenomenally well, better than I actually expected. So then I have to ask you this: what do you think the future of, if they are doing a Smash Brothers, of what IP they will do it and why? Especially considering there is the whole ordeal of well, we can take the elephant in the room of Zelda and Pokemon afterwards, or should we take that first? Since there's a lot of people confused about how they would handle Legend of Zelda as it's over at Sony, and Pokemon being, well, Pokemon and your split venture and ownership and all.
Yeah, we could talk about that first because I mean, Zelda's gonna be hard to get. We know with how Sony does with Spider-Man. I mean, that deal with Marvel took so long for them to make their own Spider-Man for the MCU, and Sony gets a cut of the box office. So it feels to me like that would just be financially out of the question. So I hate to say it, but I almost feel like if they went the Smash Brothers route, they would probably have to eliminate Link. And I again, Link, it was my character. That was my main in the first Smash Brothers game. So I would feel some kind of way about that. But just looking at the industry and looking at who has ownership over what, I can't see them getting Link unless Nintendo comes back to the table and they say, okay, the live action rights to Link are Sony's, but we have the animation rights still. I don't know what the dotted line says.
Exactly.
If they roll that way, maybe there's some kind of wiggle room to include him as a cameo, but I still feel like Sony would want to get a piece of the pie when it comes to the earnings. Maybe they could go to the table with Sony and negotiate something that's good enough financially for both of them. Yeah. However, I just don't know what that would look like and how much money Sony's going to want, because I know they're going to want some money. They've held on to Spider-Man with the chokehold. So
can you blame them?
Can't blame them at all. So I'm sure they are really grasping at straws, trying to get more IP. And if they can hit a Legend of Zelda movie that's like a hit that people love, they are not going to take their hands off that.
Yeah. There's something that just confuses me about the whole Zelda that I don't think people are thinking about, and that's just exactly what you're talking about. It is Sony, because why not Universal for the live action part as well? Aren't they the one that made the live action How You Train Your Dragon? So they are fully capable to make something like a Legend of Zelda movie.
Yeah, I feel that way too. Like, I mean, I almost wonder if it was just Sony jumping at the rights first. I don't know how that works. But with Illumination making the Mario movies in general, you would think they would try their hardest to get their hands on every IP they could from Nintendo. I mean,
exactly.
Now that Donkey Kong has been in it, Star Fox has been in these movies. I mean, you would think the next route they would want to go is the Legend of Zelda. But the only thing I can think of is maybe like Sony had those rights a while ago, or they tried to negotiate that a while back. And so they have the rights. They've got the rights for the movie. I don't know either though, because I mean, yeah, if I'm Universal, I'm trying to get as much Nintendo IP as possible after that first Mario Brothers movie. Like that first one did so much money at the box office. I would be on the phone like right after, like, hey, we hit 1 point something billion. Yeah, let's try to get Metroid. Let's try to get Fox. Let's try to get everybody we can, because if that's their Avengers, that a Smash Brothers movie could like make around 2 billion. I mean, maybe a little far, but the Avengers movies have made that much. So if people keep showing up to the Mario Brothers movies, which Mario Galaxy did 370 million worldwide, and it hasn't even opened in Japan yet. So, I mean,
I don't understand why they haven't opened in Japan.
Yeah, yet. What the heck is up with that? I don't know. I would think they would actually be first. But I don't know why they don't have it yet. Not sure. But yeah, with how that's performing, I wonder if maybe the nervousness is like stepping outside of the Mario Brothers brand. Like, okay, if we step into Star Fox, is that going to sell? I wonder if maybe that's the worry. But I mean, a Smash Brothers movie is definitely going to sell.
Yeah, I know that a lot of kids actually, I know people who have their kids like 8-9 years old who went to the movies, and they all said, "Oh, it's that guy from Smash Brothers. It's that guy from Smash Brothers, and not just that guy from Star Fox." So maybe they want to do sort of like cross promotion style stuff before they do more of a crossover style. I don't know, because I don't know if you saw the tweet I sent you, but there was a VA showing off that after the movie, he asked his dad, "Hey, can you show me a game with this character?" And he did a little video on it. I send you the video on it.
Yeah, that was lovely. I love that.
Yeah. But and then we also have Pokemon that is owned by Game Freak Creatures Inc. Nintendo, so it's not. And their movie rights isn't there like live action rights in both Netflix, Legendary? I know that
they've been talking about it for a while, and it's like, where is it? Like, we don't have none of that Netflix stuff. And then they made the movie, which was okay.
Yeah,
I think the designs on the movie were good. I don't know if I love the trainers, but I do think the designs of the Pokemon in the world look cool. I was just like, Ryan Reynolds voicing Pikachu. Don't know if I need that again. I don't know where the rights are at though. Like, who's holding out? What's going on with that? No clue.
Yeah, but now my question for you is, what IP do you think Slasher want Elimination to use if they are about to do a Smash Brothers, and why?
Oh, that's
I have a general idea.
I think Kirby, just because that to me feels like it would make sense as an Illumination movie. I almost think that the Star Fox sequence where he's telling the backstory, I want them to do a Star Fox movie in that style, like that anime, the kind of like really cool, sharp looking, edgy style. I want somebody to do that with Star Fox, and whether that's Illumination or not, or they hold the rights and let somebody borrow it and do it, whatever. I think that's the style I want to see that in. But if we're talking like the Super Mario Brothers style, I think Kirby is like perfect for that. Just because his characters are just as kind of cutesy and funny and goofy as Mario's are. And then King Dedede also has like these same kind of style as Bowser. It's kind of like a big, larger than life type villain that's sort of fluffy looking. So I think that Kirby, in my opinion, is like and then obviously Donkey Kong, but apparently they might be working on that already. I don't know, but like that,
wasn't there a leak about that?
Yeah. I think it might have been Daniel RPK who posted on Twitter that like Nintendo filed a trademark for a movie. So I think that's perfect for a film as well.
Yeah. Is there any other IPs you can come to think of?
Here's my hesitation on Metroid. It is a horror franchise. So while I love the Mario movies, I think that I love the idea of the Kirby, of Donkey Kong. I think Metroid doesn't quite fit in that bubble unless Universal said, hey, we're going to make a live action, or we're going to make like a more PG-13 to R style movie for Metroid and not use that animation style. But if we're just talking like strictly this Mario Brothers, Mario Galaxy animation style, I'm going Kirby and Donkey Kong for the two. Would love to see Star Fox in a more anime style, and would love to see Metroid in a more horror driven style. But how about you?
Yeah, I've actually mentioned something with Metroid that I did. I think we didn't cover a little about Legend of Zelda. And that is, we all know that in DC, with James Gunn, he plans to do, if you are playing the character in live action, you voice it in the animation / video games. What if Universal gets the rights for a live action, make it a bit PG-13R, and then they are giving that Samus some cameo exposition in a Smash Brothers movie through that? So then they have the cake and eat it too.
Yeah, I think that's the route to go. I mean, that's what Marvel's doing with Deadpool. I mean, because he's gonna be in these Avengers movies, but I mean, his own movies are like hard R. So it's just kind of like, okay, I think there's an opportunity to use that same build, that same mold here for these Nintendo movies. Like, hey, like Metroid can be a little harder R, or PG-13, a little edgier. Star Fox can lean a little more, maybe not PG-13, but a little like older kids for Star Fox. I think they have like a really big opportunity here to make the universe. But I mean, Shigeru Miyamoto kind of popped the bubble on this a little bit. Like he said in a quote recently, he's like, "Oh, I wouldn't get my hopes up for that." I'm like, "Well, come on, Miyamoto, like really?"
But then again, we have Glenn Powell calling them and pitching himself for Star Fox and being the completely reason why they even have him in the movie. So, but for me, well, Kirby is easily one of them because that feels like a no-brainer. Speaking of Kirby, although, have you seen Kirby Right Back at you? That's a
yes,
series.
It's the little kind of anime-ish. Yeah.
Yeah. Sakurai is apparently the showrunner for that series, which is kind of funny.
Oh, what?
But I will also mention one. Have you ever heard of Earthbound or Mother?
Yes.
Franchise? It's for those that have played Smash Brothers, it's Ness and Lucas, the kids with the infamous PK fire attacks. I'm gonna show the picture up on post, but I think that it's enough psychedelic visually. It has the game in question has some of the most visual style humor. It has some form of it's off to the bunker stuff happening that I feel like perfect for someone like Illumination. Because well, they like to do visual storytelling, so to speak. Well, they are literally show don't tell if you really think about it. But and I need to ask you but besides those two, I'm a bit. But haven't you? Didn't you play? What's the name of the franchise? Now I'm now I'm losing myself in my brain. And part of me, I'm not the biggest fan of it, but I wouldn't be surprised if they somehow do an Animal Crossing movie or a Splatoon movie. That should be an obvious one, I feel like. Especially Animal Crossing with how popular it is as of today.
That's perfect. That actually sounds. My bad, by the way. I had a quick little tech glitch, but yes, I think Animal Crossing, with how popular it is with the kids now, and shit, I love some Animal Crossing too. I think that's perfect. And Splatoon, maybe those could even be a little further down the line. But if you can't use, let's just say, theoretically, you can't use Zelda. You can't use Zelda or Link. You can't use Pokemon. You might have to kind of, fill the gaps with the IPs you can use.
I mean, Marvel managed to start off their universe with not having every of their character in a position of ownership. So I don't think why they couldn't adapt.
I mean, it was like Marvel coming out of the 90s, early 2000s. It was like Spider-Man, Wolverine, Hulk. The few I have in the background here, those were like the big characters. They had Hulk a little, but they did not have X-Men. Fox had that, and Sony has Spider-Man. So yeah, and they still, like you pointed out, they still made their Avengers. And it's not even that's not even the original team of Avengers. I mean, there was no Wasp, none of that. So it's like, yeah, I think it, and I know Miyamoto-san said that they're not going to make a Smash Brothers movie. Like, don't hold your breath. But I mean, when the money signs come rolling in, the dollar signs, man, he's not gonna say no. I don't think. I can't say no.
It's clearly a sign of the right pitch comes with Star Fox and all. I do feel
exactly. Like, I think it could even be this kind of like stroke of luck where it's like, yeah, like there was no plans for that at all, but Glenn Powell called, they got the Star Fox thing rolling. Okay, they're doing Donkey Kong. Why not do a Super Smash Brothers movie? Especially if those other movies make a lot of money. I could absolutely see a Donkey Kong movie making crazy money. Especially if you tell me like Seth Rogen is the main voice and then they have somebody incredible for King K. Rool. I mean,
who would you cast as King K. Rool?
I don't know. I don't know. Do you have any ideas?
Jason Momoa.
Holy shit, that's perfect.
King K. Rool isn't a serious character, and Momoa loves to goof around. So
that is like perfect. Like if you tell me Seth Rogen and Jason Momoa are voicing these two characters, I'm buying a ticket the day they're available.
And that's one thing I always said. If they ever do a Donkey Kong movie and make it King K, let it be Momoa, please.
That is like pinpoint accurate. Oh my God. And just those two alone, I mean, in the same vein as Chris Pratt and Anya Taylor-Joy and Jack Black, you've got 3 actors who are on like very on the map, who can sell tickets. That's what will happen with the Donkey Kong movie, especially if you have Jason Momoa playing King K. Rool. Then you've got just like 2 juggernauts of the industry who can sell tickets. Kids love Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong was a favorite point of the first movie. So, I mean, that's a cash cow right there. That's bringing the money in.
I do know that there's a lot of people that got interested and hyped about Donkey Kong, their kids, that is, due to Donkey Kong Bonanza. So it clearly worked. So, and I forgot to ask also one thing regarding Kirby. Do you make Kirby talk or not?
I mean, they made it work in Nightmare and Dreamland, or I'm sorry, the anime. It made it work in the show, but I think you have to. Like, I mean, this is the kind of the same question as like, do you make Link talk, right? It's kind of like, yeah, I think you have to. I mean, I don't know if you can make it work without them talking. What do you think?
I think that you need to have him talk. Maybe, well, yeah, you pretty much have to make them talk. I think having a Navi style character with Kirby and Link might be a bit. I don't think it would work. If anyone said, but Link, quote unquote, talks with a speech bubble in the video games, I can highly recommend checking out the Legend of Zelda mangas. They have Link talk there. It works perfectly. I can highly recommend them. I did a review, a 3-part review of the first volume of the Twilight Princess manga over the Amateur Taco channel with Jamie Swiper. And we both enjoyed it, and I have the entire collection here in my office. So, but I digress.
Yeah, I think it would just be kind of odd to have them not talking, but part of me like imagine like what if Kirby has like a super deep voice? That would be crazy. It's just like like somebody with like a super deep. It's like The Rock is Kirby or something. That would just be.
That is a super. That's a Saturday Night Live skit in the making. Let's be real. Let's be real here.
God.
So, and well, if honestly, I don't know who I would cast as Kirby if they would do that.
I feel like you got to get a kid, right? I mean,
or a kid with a very high pitched voice.
Yes.
So, sort of like that, since it's supposed to be a kid. If they are having Meta Knight, that on the other hand should have a big bass voice, but sort of like, honestly, I know that they played off him being sort of like a Mexican as type in the dub of that's a Kirby, so maybe have Antonio Banderas as Meta Knight. I don't know, but
Now that I'm down for. Like, yes.
But and how would you connect these franchises into a Smash Brothers movie? Would you do the warp black hole stuff like they did with the Sonic or not Sonic? Now I'm brain freeze Fox. Or how would you connect them to a Smash Bros movie?
Yeah, that part I haven't really figured out yet. I'm kind of just like, but that part, that's where the writers come in. That's where that writing magic comes in. I think I agree with you. The warp pipe, like using the warp pipe is a little bit too simple, I think. Maybe it's something along the lines of like something happens in all of their universes and sucks them into another one where they're all there. But I don't know what they could do. I mean, maybe it's like, I mean, you can't be having the master hand as like the big bad of the movie. I mean, you got to come up with somebody else. But I don't know. I think in my head, it makes sense for them all to be pulled out of their universes into another one for some reason. Like, oh, something's kind of tampering with all of their universe, and they have to unite to save their universes. That's all I can really think of.
What is the name of the main end villain in the Brawl now again? The adventure mode.
The main one in adventure mode?
Yeah, in Brawl.
In Brawl. In Smash... I don't know. I have no idea.
Now I have a. You have played that, right? Mm-hmm. The Subspace Emissary. What's the name? Maybe, I mean, he could be a perfect version for that boss. Fine. If you're looking at through that, I mean, Taboo, that's the one.
Yes.
I mean, he's collecting the worlds and all. So
something like that, I think, would make sense instead of them like, oh man, I hit a nook in the space drive, and here I am. Like, I think that works for like a Star Fox. Quickly happened. But let me ask you something. How do you feel about them like splitting up the universe for Star Fox? Because they didn't do that for Donkey Kong. And I didn't see that coming, like him coming from another universe.
I mean, if you really think about it, Mario and Donkey Kong is kind of interconnected with each other. Since it's origin with the Donkey Kong, the original game, the Mario versus Donkey Kong.
Throwing the little barrels down.
Yeah,
and hard to jump over, man.
Mm-hmm. Because so I kind of feel like it fit being interconnected and all that, yes. And no, I'm not gonna mention that because that would be spoiler for Bonanza, and I don't know if you have played it. But like in Odyssey, Pauline is there. Pauline is the one that's supposed to be kidnapped by Donkey Kong. So,
okay,
yeah. So I just feel like it's they are. How should I put it? It's like imagine them doing a Metroid Prime movie or Star Fox movie or F-Zero movie. And you have them ending up like the movie ends on something crash lands in insert planet here, and in is one of those three, like Samus Fox or Captain Falcon, and it could work because the galaxy is kind of interconnected, stuff like that. They are. You can interconnect it through there. With Mario and Donkey Kong, it's kind of. I feel like they are rooted into each other, and it just spinned off to their own thing, type of deal. I mean, Yoshi didn't. Yoshi is essentially was just a character within a Mario game that ended up getting his own games later, title stuff. But that's just how I'm viewing it at the very least.
That makes sense. Yeah, I thought him coming from another universe was very like a good call, I think, because then you do have that potential to explore a different look with the Star Fox movie. I mean, they could stay with the Mario style. He looked great. Don't get me wrong, but when he was like telling the story, made the hilarious joke about his frog engineer. I felt like that look for Star Fox is how I would imagine a movie to look like. So, do you feel like they should do it in this Mario style, or should they go another route with a different art style like they did with the flashback?
I think they should do another, do their that style, or at least a new style, because there is another reason why I mentioned also the whole Galaxy part with Metroid, all that jazz, is because, which is why I think they did a good job with Star Fox here in comparison. I have Interconnected, but it's that the tone of the franchises makes it a lot. Also, it fits the art style.
Yes.
Come up seamlessly, whereas the more science fiction aspects you can easily adapt to their own art styles, kind of deal. So yes, I think they should have its own art style. Maybe be it the one that they had in the flashback stuff, or something else that we haven't come to think about, and they're working on as they speak. Or at least that's the way I'm viewing it.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Give us a different art style for Fox.
I forgot to ask about something for the movie that I've seen people are very split on, that I feel is worth discussion, even if it's a Smash Brothers movie, actually. Movie talk. They did a movie retcon and having Rosalina and Peach being sisters. What were your opinion about that?
You know, I've never really been attached to Peach having like a backstory. Like I kind of just always thought, you know, she was the princess of Mushroom Kingdom. Like, you know, for me, I was never really like, oh my God, like, is she going to have this crazy backstory? But I do think it gives that character a little bit more fleshing out. Just because like she's a completely different character from the games here. So I think it makes sense, especially for a modern take on these characters. She's not the princess just being held in the castle anymore. So I think it makes sense to create some progression in that character, give her a backstory, flesh her out more, have her fight with her umbrella, which that scene in the casino was awesome. So I think it makes sense for me. I don't have a huge issue with her being Rosalina's sister, but there is because like, isn't Rosalina like super old, like hundreds of years old? So it's a little like,
they are there is just indication in the games as far as I know.
Okay. So like some indication that maybe she's like extremely old. So, you know, you kind of step on that and squash that a little bit, or you make it so that like Peach is also centuries old, maybe. But I mean, I don't have a dog in that fight. I wasn't upset that they were sisters. When I did see it on screen, I was like, ooh, how's the fandom gonna feel about this? How did you feel about it? Because I mean, for me, I was like, okay, give him a little connection. It makes me wonder though, is Daisy related to them, or is she?
Yeah, that will be a big question. But regarding what I think, honestly, fans have talked about so much about how they want to evolve the lore of Mario and connect it more and all that jazz. And I'm just saying it fits using that, because they don't need to overcomplicate it. Who is her parents? Why are they? Why are they? Why blah blah blah? That type of stuff like that, you know. So I think it's very simplistic, works and evolves both evolves the stuff for both of them. And I dare even say, and I know it's going to be very unpopular to say, But I think actually I wouldn't mind seeing this being a retcon for the video games once the new 3D Mario comes out.
Yeah, I wouldn't
Honestly.
mind that either. Because I mean, at this point, we're 2 movies in. They've really, hit home the message that, Peach is not just the princess in the castle. Love that for the character. I think if they did that with the games too, that could really help usher things into a more modern game setting, to where, yeah, she's not. Maybe you could play as Peach at some point. I think that I like that idea.
Yeah. So, but and also for the record, if people are pointing it out in the comments, yes, we know that the Pikmin is gonna end up in the Smash Brothers more than likely, considering Shigeru loves that IP. So don't you worry. So, I mean, it's his favorite child. I don't know if you know that.
Yes, sir. It is his fave.
Which is kind of funny. I do argue, but with that said, do you have anything else you can think about when it comes to potential with the Smash Bros stuff that we might have missed?
I just think, and this would be my final thoughts here, I just think they would be missing out on how big this IP is right now if they didn't do a Smash Brothers movie. It doesn't have to come out next year. It doesn't have to come out in the next 2 years. But I think building up to that could be great for their IP with the Mario Brothers movies. And then it could just be fun, like as game fans, like we're gonna see that movie. So if there's like any concern about like money or is it gonna make money, it's gonna make money. It's gonna make buku bucks. I mean, if the first Mario Brothers movie made a lot of money, I could even see a timeline where it's like, okay, you have Mario 1, Mario 2, Donkey Kong, then you go a Star Fox movie, and then Smash Brothers if they really wanted to go that route. Because let's think, with Avengers, it was like, okay, you had Iron Man, Captain America, Hulk, Thor, but Hawkeye and Black Widow didn't get movies. So it's like, okay, if they wanted to do it that way, where it's like, okay, Samus and Kirby end up there, and then they go on to get their own projects, that works for me. But I just think that like with Mario Galaxy doing the numbers it's doing, Mario Brothers doing the numbers it did, they'd be missing out on a lot of potential not doing a Super Smash Brothers movie. And while Shigeru Miyamoto said they're not, don't hold your breath, who knows what's going to happen in the next couple of years, like, I mean, as that now, but they could very easily be like, you know what, a Smash Brothers movie sounds great. Hey, what do you think about this? And he could sign off on it tomorrow. So while there's no confirmation, I definitely think they're looking at it at Universal as an idea.
I have to agree on that. And you pretty much put the last thought pretty much put it in perspective of the last point of perspective I have. But anyway, Leo, where can people find you?
You guys can find me over at Geekly Goods. Got the at right over here. I'm mainly on YouTube, y'all. I release movies. Wow. I release videos 7 days a week. Y'all can find me there. We're talking Marvel movies, DC TV, and animation recently has been doing well on the channel. So covering a lot of animation as well. You can also find me on all other social media platforms. But like I said, YouTube's the main base. So we'll see you over at Geekly Goods over on YouTube.
You can find me here at the Swedish Emblem on YouTube, Twitch, and the Amateur Talker podcast, where we're talking about anime and all. And thank you for being on board, Leo. It's been a blast.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It's been awesome.
Yeah. And have it awesome, everyone. Peace.
Peace.